Durch die Vorfälle im Dorf der Koexistenz zwischen Menschen und Monstern sieht sich die stolze Marion mit einem Mann konfrontiert, der ihre Vergangenheit kennt. Während die Gruppe des Weißen Orls gegen den Mann mit der Augenklappe kämpft, gelingt es den Helden, das vermisste Monster zu finden und zurückzubringen. Doch dann erkennen sie, welche Wahrheit hinter der Koexistenz im Dorf steckt. Beim Versuch, den Helden zu schützen, wird das schweigsame Monster vom Dolch des Bürgermeisters getroffen. Die Helden eilen in die nächste Stadt, um einen Weg zu finden, es zu retten. Dort treffen sie einen muskulösen Mann, der sein Brot als Tropologe verdient. Kapitel 4: Die Küstenstadt. Begib dich von Koexistia aus über die Straße nach Süden zur Küstenstadt. Erstmal muss ich mal gucken, wie viel Kapitel hat das Ding überhaupt? Nur so zur Neugierde. Beziehungsweise aus Neugierde. Wieso gibt es da nichts? Keine Seite, die mir das sagt. Aber es gibt in den Erfolgen gibt es das. Es gibt 7 Kapitel. Und verschiedene Enden. One ending requires you to have all 10 mysterious cards. Okay. Okay. Kurz noch hier. Kapitel 4. Ja, ein bisschen aufdecken hier. Ein Feind greift an!
About the enemy.
Wow, eine 1. Genug, um ihn zu besiegen. Yay, 800 Gold. So, haben wir den oberen Teil der Karte scheinbar aufgedeckt jetzt. Hier noch ein bisschen aufdecken quasi. Aber gehen wir mal zum Leuchtturm.
About the enemy.
Okay. Wobei, wenn das hier so ein richtiger Dungeon ist, ich dachte jetzt gerade, weil wir vorhin was vom Leuchtturm gelesen haben, gehen wir erstmal in die Küstenstadt, damit wir dann auch ganz sicher quasi weitergehen müssen. Dann können wir immer noch den Dungeon machen. Mal kurz hier aufdecken vorher. Wow, alle vergiftet. Du bist auch vergiftet. Auch nicht. Komme ich schon auf das Ende des Jahres? Warum denn? Was gibt's denn Spezielles am Ende des Jahres? Skript schreiben für die durchgespielte Liste 2022. Ah. Ich habe immer noch nicht mal ein Skript für Fantasia geschrieben. Weil ich nicht so hundertprozentig weiß, wie ich das machen will. Und zum Teil gibt es dann halt auch wichtigere Sachen, die man macht. Ja, zum Beispiel Unikram.
You were surprised to find a merchant selling goods in a place like this. You decide to take a look, and the merchant welcomes you energetically. These are my unsold wares. I would be happy to sell to you for a fraction of the price, the old woman says as she lines up some medicine bottles before you.
Ja. Jetzt nicht so. Nee.
I'm closing for the day, she announces as she packs up her goods. It seems you won't be able to do any more shopping here.
Nein, ich will das hier machen. Danke.
Something comes rocketing down from the mountaintop, there and gone in a flash. What was that? Your friends insist it was probably just a rock, but you're convinced it was a monster, and you could prove it. The rock adroitly avoids crashing into anything as it falls. Only monsters can move like that. Your friends breathe a sigh of relief as the monster hurtles ever farther away.
Du hast echt Angst, dass deine Nachbarn denken, du hast eine Erdbebenmaschine zu Hause. Deine Waschmaschine. Dafür gibt es so ein Unterlagenlogo. Es gibt, muss man im Baumarkt gucken. Da gibt es so eine Unterlagen, die ein bisschen so die Vibration verringern. Die hatte ich in meiner alten Wohnung auch. Legst du dann einfach drunter. Und ja, dann ist es nicht ganz so schlimm. Wow. Mit einer 1 geht das natürlich nicht mit dem Vergiften. Kann mir im Monat nicht leisten, dann mussten die durch. Ja. Du musst ja nicht zu nachtschlafenden Zeiten deine Wäsche waschen. Ich meine, ich mache das auch, aber ich habe jetzt keine Lärmprobleme bei mir. Ich wasche die meistens, wenn ich nach Hause komme, so 15 Uhr. Ja, dann, das ist eine normale Zeit. Das ist nichts zur Mittagsruhe und nichts am Abend. Passt doch. Du brauchst dir auch gar nichts holen, wenn du so machst. Ist halt natürlich nur schlecht, wenn du dann halt doch irgendwann mal zu einem anderen Zeitpunkt musst. Suche den Tropologen in der Küstenstadt.
The man says the fishing industry is usually thriving in their seaside town, but recently nets have been coming up empty. He mentions that even the fishing harbor to the northwest has been suffering from poor hauls of late.
Okay, Muskelpaket. Schicke Stadt. Das klingt nicht gut.
You hear a roar in the distance. According to the townsfolk, it is a very recent phenomenon. Rumor in the village has it that it might be the dragon. A troubled woman tells you that there has been a rise in thefts lately. She speculates the recession to be the cause. She claims that even the cold medicine she always has on hand has disappeared. She narrows her eyes at the crowd, suspecting there is a thief among them, and offers a reward for the return of the medicine. Your ears perk up at the word reward, and you immediately agree to help expose the dirty thief.
Yay.
I can feel the dragon's presence. I must inform Lady Winifred, the knight mutters. You feel impatient, determined not to let the order beat you to it. You approach a woman sneaking around in a corner of town. Hearing your voice, she turns in surprise. You see a vial of cold medicine clutched in her hands. You explain that the person she stole it from needs it back. The woman begins to explain her own situation with downcast eyes. My poor little boy is bedridden, she says tearfully. He needs medicine, but I don't have any money, so I took it.
Ein Auge zudrücken. Na, was wollen wir machen, Logo? Wollen wir ihr glauben oder wollen wir den Auftrag ausführen?
Hearing her tale, you are overcome by sympathy and decide to look the other way.
Zu spät.
She thanks you and hands you something, apologizing for not having more.
Ah, richtige Entscheidung. Da würde ich die mysteriöse Karte 6. Hab ich zugehört. Nichts Neues.
The woman leaves quickly. Now then, what to tell the other lady?
Da gibt's ja irgendwo Erkältungsmedizin im Laden oder so. Hier nicht? Ja, gibt's nicht. Vielleicht können wir dem Auftraggeber Geld geben oder so. Frostharnisch. Gib her.
It would appear you and your companions are this inn's 10,000th customers. That means you've won the lifetime of free stays pass.
Das ist ja schon ein Meme mit den umsonst ins Gasthaus gehen. Gibt immer irgendeinen anderen Grund, warum wir im Gasthaus umsonst rein dürfen. Als ich die Nintendo-Spiele ausgepackt habe, waren da einige DS-Spiele dabei, die ich mal spielen könnte. Zum Beispiel.
You explain that you were unable to find the thief. Clearly saddened by the news, she explains that she keeps the medicine on hand for her husband, who gets sick quite easily. She laments that she may not have the money to buy more. Unsure if you made the right choice, you return to your journey with a heavy heart. She laments that she may not have the money to buy more.
Ja, toll, dass wir ihr nicht Geld geben dürfen. Danke, Spiel. Ah, nee, wir müssen ja noch zum Tropologen. Dieser Avalon-Code, war das dieses Point-and-Click-mäßige? Das hast du vergessen.
The sign on the door reads, "The Great Nutritionist Oreo."
Goldo.
You open the door without knocking. Is anyone home, you call? A muscular man emerges from the back.
Was sagst du zu dem Mann? Nette Muckis.
Praising his musculature seems to put him in high spirits. Anyone can achieve a body like this with the proper diet, he explains. So why don't we enjoy a life of love and nutritional meals together? Have mercy, you think, then immediately change the subject. You politely ask if he is the nutritionist. Indeed, I am the nutritionist Oreo, he answers. He says he has been studying dietetics here for many years. You hand Oreo the extract and explain that your comrade is now bedridden because of it. He stares at the extract for a long time, and then opens the bottle and laps at the liquid inside. That's poison, Melanie shouts in alarm. The man insists that he'll be fine with his expertise of nutrition, and insists that knowledge is power, as if that... Regardless, it seems he managed to grasp the composition of the poison with that lick, and starts concocting a nutritional supplement to counter it. However, he says he needs a spry fish, which has been difficult to catch lately. He needs a special fish to make the necessary supplement.
Woher bekomme ich einen Gesündling?
When he explains that you can catch one in the surrounding sea, Riddis confidently interjects. She shows you a page from her ancient tome, which explains the ecology of the fish in detail. That book comes in handy from time to time, Melanie remarks in surprise. Oreo gasps as if remembering something. He says that his son went out fishing and, with a bit of luck, may have already caught a spry fish. It sounds like his son is fishing on the wharf. You decide to go find him.
Suche in der Nähe der Anlegestelle der Küstenstadt nach dem Sohn von Goldo. Hallo Devo.
You see a young man with his line in the water and call out to him. He turns around and flexes, shouting out suddenly, "Power is power." You stare, enchanted by his bulging musculature. There is no doubt in your mind that this is Oreo's son. He asks if you have business with him.
Wollen wir ihn auch über seine Muckis loben?
Praising his musculature seems to have put him in high spirits.
Wow.
Anyone can achieve a body like this with the proper exercise, he explains. So why don't we cast our needless garments aside and train together? Have mercy, you think, then immediately change the subject. Though you are pretty sure of the answer, you ask the young man if he is the nutritionist's son. That I am, he answers. He introduces himself as Bruno and says he is learning to be a nutritionist like his father. You introduce yourself, expressing to him that you are a hero on a journey and require a spry fish to save your ill comrade. His eyes begin to sparkle the moment you utter the word hero, and he becomes engrossed in your tale. More or less grasping the situation, he regrets to inform you that he has not caught any spry fish yet. He says that a monster has settled near their town, and its thundering roars have scared most of the fish away. You know Oreo needs a spry fish to make that supplement. Hearing the despair in your voice, Bruno speaks, his words like an ember in the dark. He tells you that there is a harbor near town where fishermen gather. Perhaps you can find the fish you seek there. You thank him for the information, then head to the harbor with your comrades. Just as you are about to leave, Bruno offers to escort you there. Is it a reward you're after? You are about to ask, but Melanie smacks you on the head before you can voice it and allows him to come along.
Bruno hat sich der Gruppe angeschlossen. Suche beim Hafen im Nordwesten der Küstenstadt nach einem Gesundling. Ja, von mir aus können wir anpassen, ne? Wahrscheinlich meinen sie für den anderen Ort. Aber ein RPG, wo du...
Bruno looks ecstatic that he was allowed to join your party.
Ein RPG, wo du die Gegner mit Büchern schlägst, klingt aber auch interessant, Logo.
When you ask him why, he tells you that his dream is to be an adventurer and has thus been training every day. But his father, famed in the world of nutrition, forced him into following in his footsteps. One desires strength, the other knowledge. Unable to see eye to eye, the two fight nearly every day. What will you ask Bruno? Curious about his attire, you ask why he does not wear armor. He confessed that he once wished for armor, but deemed it unnecessary after gaining so much muscle. You ask Bruno about his sword arm, saying you are something of a swordsman yourself. Bruno replies that he specializes in hand-to-hand combat, then flexes his bulging biceps as proof. Apparently, he only carries around a sword to look like an adventurer. In that moment, you realize something. While his passion for being an adventurer is true, he is dumber than a sack of rocks. The words "birds of a feather flock together" run through your mind, but you quickly chase them away, afraid of what that means for you.
Ich habe das Gefühl, ich muss meine Gruppe nochmal anpassen. Nutze Sicherheit und so. Suche am Hafen nach einem Gesündling. Definitiv ein paar Leute hier.
He has been fishing for several days, having decided not to return home empty-handed. He hopes his wife and child back in Shoreland are well. The woman says she has been waiting here for days, worried about her husband, who has yet to return.
Muskelmaid, okay.
Lately, a monstrous roar has been disturbing the seas and scaring away all the fish. He sighs, lamenting that his catches have been poor as a result. A rough-tempered piscator stands there, having just returned from fishing. Mars' fate rests upon this man's haul. Terrible, he says, showing you the few fish he's caught. Inside, you see a spry fish, Bruno shouts. You ask him if you can have the spry fish, but he says he won't give it up for free. When you ask how much it will cost, he gives the absurd price of 1,000,000 gold pieces. You're heartless, Ridis pouts. The man is enraged by the rude response. Just then, Bruno prances forth and shouts, "Stop right there! Your fisherman muscles are simply sublime," he exclaims. He challenges the man to a competition of muscles with the spry fish as the prize. The piscator seems interested and agrees on one condition. If you lose, this one's all yours, Melanie says, patting you on the shoulder. Then let the carnival of might and muscles begin, Bruno roars, completely fired up. Your puny body is no match for mine, the piscator shouts back, throwing a punch.
Okay. Wow, jetzt nur Bruno gegen ihn. Toll. Okay, er hat den Angriff 3 Runden lang, erhöht die Abwehr 3 Runden lang, versucht 1. Dann erstmal Abwehr. Ja? So. Aha. Aber ihn auch.
You're doing great.
Tu mal die DS-Spiele raus. Hab eine lange Wii-Liste, die ich spielen will. Muss eine Fernbedienung wiederfinden. Wow.
Feels like watching a bodybuilder competition.
Oh. Ja gut, dass wir gleich hoffentlich gewonnen haben. Nicht mal das XP dafür gekriegt.
His victory sealed, Bruno strikes a glorious pose and shouts out, "Witness the power of power."
Yay.
Defeated, the Piscator hands over the spry fish to Bruno. Bruno extends a hand to the Piscator, who has fallen to his knees. With a serene smile, he takes the offered hand. An unspoken friendship begins to form between the two. Or at least, you hope that's what the prolonged silence between them means.
Ihr habt einen Gesindling erhalten. Übergibt Goldo in der Küstenstadt den Gesindling. Da Bruno am Kampf teilnimmt, hat sich die Formation deiner Gruppe geändert. Möchtest du sie anpassen? Okay, wenn es sein muss. Ja, ist okay.
With the spry fish in hand, you head back towards Oreo's clinic. Bruno looks at your group sadly, reluctant for this little adventure to end.
Wow. Irgendwas Neues hier? Scheinbar nicht.
You hand the fish to Oreo and ask him to make you the supplement. "Give me a moment," he says, then takes the fish and heads into the back.
Eine Stunde später.
"It's ready," he says, emerging from his room and handing you a bottle.
Energiekonzentrat.
You hope this will get Mar back on his feet. You need to get back to Unionville on the double. But before that...
Wie möchtest du dich bei Bruno bedanken? Du hast es echt
You
drauf.
face Bruno and say, "Take care," then run off.
Wow, das wollte ich nicht sagen. Ich wollte mich doch bei ihm bedanken, dass er drauf hat und so.
But Bruno stops you and says he wants to journey with you just a little longer. But Oreo is quick to douse the flames of his desire. "You will stay here and study," he commands. "Then you leave me no choice." Bruno's expression reads as he raises both hands behind his head and squats at hyper speed.
Was?
"I want to show this power to the world," Bruno proclaims to his father. "You have much to learn, my son," Oreo retorts as he starts sidestepping at breakneck speed. Only the sound of their labored breathing and bodies moving resonates through the otherwise silent room. You can only look on in stunned silence at the enigmatic display.
30 Minuten später.
Bruno falls to his knees, panting. This is My limit. You have grown, my son, Oreo says, looking no worse for wear. So are you coming with us or not, Melanie? Only our muscles know the answer, comes Bruno's cryptic reply. I don't get it, Ridis remarks frankly. On the condition that he study nutrition upon his return, Bruno is allowed to go with you for just a little while longer. You realize that these two have a very special way of talking that no one else can understand.
Begib dich ins Gasthaus von Coexistia und gib Marin das Energiekonzentrat. Bedanken, betreibt mal mit einem Döner. Ja, der hat jetzt hier gefehlt, ne? Der Döner.
Hearing yet another roar in the distance, you realize you need to get the supplement to Mar so you can investigate the sound together.
Jo. Möchte zu Marin.
Mar lies listlessly upon the bed, looking somewhat haggard. You help Mar sit up. Drink this, Mar, you say to him gently. He weakly opens his mouth, and you slowly pour the energy concentrate inside. Mar abruptly bolts up and turns his head toward you with a puzzled look. It looks like Mar is all better now.
Wie drückst du deine Freude darüber aus? Eine Umarmung.
You give Mar a tight hug. Mar mewls softly in discomfort. Overcome with joy, you sob and stroke Mar's head. Melanie and Ridis watch you two with a smile. Bruno is deeply moved to see nutrition bringing a smile to others. With this, you can finally put the happenings of that strange village behind you. You decide to take Bruno back to Shoreland, then continue your search for the dragon.
Begib dich in die Küstenstadt und bring Bruno zu seinem Haus. Wenn er wieder gehen soll, dann können wir ja wieder, keine Ahnung. Und der Jedi-Tempel auf dem Schneeplanet ist die zukünftige Starkiller Base. Bist du dir sicher? Ist das so hundertprozentig oder ist das so eine Vermutung? Und ich war noch ein bisschen Schneeplaneten da, aber ich habe dann irgendwann bin ich da halt ins Bett gegangen. Okay.
You arrive at Bruno's house. Though he seems to want to adventure a little more, he reluctantly enters his house. You ask Oreo if he knows anything about the monster behind that mighty roar. He says that the creature nests atop a tower not far from town. With that, your next destination is decided. Here, you will part ways with these two, but you owe a great deal to... Bruno looks at you, his eyes begging you to let him come along. What will you say? Let us defeat the dragon together, you say to him. You are sure his power and knowledge will come in handy against the beast. And you realize with a grin, he will be so happy just to come along that he will not want a share of the reward. Bruno is happy he can continue the journey, but Oreo stops him before he can get carried away. You must stay here and study, Oreo says. Bruno explains that the journey thus far has taught him the splendor of nutrition, and he now wishes to travel the world to deepen his knowledge. After hearing his son out, Oreo suddenly removes his glasses.
Oh je, Kampfmusik.
And in the blink of an eye, the flesh of Bruno's cheeks, pectorals, and abdomen recess. And Bruno is lifted off his feet with a dull roar. Your eyes go wide at Oreo's assault, which was too fast for your eyes to catch. Knowledge of nutrition can help save lives, but also strike down enemies, Oreo says. Wow, nutrition is incredible. Knowledge is the true power. You tremble, never wanting to make an enemy of Oreo. Though Oreo still deems his son's knowledge insufficient, he tells him to travel the world and surpass him someday. Thank you, Father, Bruno says from the ground, moved to tears by the strength of Oreo's knowledge. So it comes to pass that you journey to the tower with Bruno to find the roaring beast.
Bruno hat...
Yet another colorful character.
Wow. Begib dich zum Turm südwestlich der Küstenstadt. Wusste ich doch, dass es irgendwie weitergeht da.